CoStar is set to spend $1 billion in marketing. How crazy is that? Now, if you're in the residential space, you probably haven't heard the word CoStar all that much. It's more of a commercial term. So this might be new. This might be a new company for you. Just recognize that CoStar right now, as I looked it up on Google Finance, has a 33 billion with a B market cap. It's a behemoth. I knew it was a big company, but I myself didn't recognize how huge it was. So we're going to see how they're spending the $1 billion, and you're going to see some entities that, as a residential agent, you for sure know what they are, but maybe we hadn't associated it to the parent company. So you're one of its more formidable competitors. You know very, very well, and that's Zillow. So let's look at this. Let's see where this money is going. I think it's a very interesting article to break down. It's courtesy of Inman.com. So give them a follow. CoStar to spend $1 billion on marketing in fight for Portal Crown. So basically, it's the B2C space where getting the information to the clients, buyers, sellers, getting it into their hands. So something that we are very familiar with that Zillow did, right? So we often look at Zillow, but there's some other portal, almost like the streaming wars, but here for the real estate data, getting this MLS information out to the public in a good interface has been the name of the game. So it's the portal game here for us agents. The streaming wars is for the general public. CoStar plans to advertise during this Sunday Super Bowl. That is wild. To be able to run an ad on Super Bowl is just crazy. And they're running 4 commercials and at major cultural events, which is the biggest marketing campaign in real estate history. How crazy is that? All right, so amid a relentless battle for the real estate portal crown, again, getting information into the hands of the end consumers instead of keeping it with us agents, CoStar this week is launching a marketing blitz that will include Super Bowl ads, celebrity endorsements, and an unprecedented war chest meant to catapult the Homes.com, you have heard of Homes.com, brand into basically every American household. So that's, again, many of us have heard this before, Homes.com, but we hadn't really all heard too much about CoStar. Again, if you're on the residential space, it's a little bit more challenging for you to have heard it or really pay attention to it in any way. Now this goes on to explain a little bit more about where it's going. So they're talking about going on the Super Bowl. They talked about how they've been doing the apartments.com angle for a bit, and they did that last year, I believe. CoStar will continue to run commercials throughout this year, including major cultural events such as the Oscar, the NBA playoffs. So this is crazy. This is an unbelievable amount of marketing. Again, close to $1 billion. The company, as I looked this up today, was about a $33 billion market cap, which is insane. All right, so let's see. All right, it is orders of magnitude more than we did for apartments.com and larger than anything else has ever been done before. I believe it. Then this is where they get into the billions of dollars, how much has been, or how they get to $1 billion. Not precisely, but gives an estimate. We're confident we have the best site now by far. Blah blah blah. All right, here we go. This is where we start getting some juice. CoStar has also been engaged in a heated rivalry with Zillow for the last several years. Although asked Thursday if he believes CoStar's residential business can surpass Zillow, Florence, the CEO, replied in the affirmative. This is absolutely the goal, Florence said, and I believe we will pass them. Florence didn't say specifically when he thinks this will happen, but said CoStar is in the residential space for a long haul. They did that by purchasing Homes.com, just to be clear. All right, and they've purchased some other entities as well, which we'll get to in a little bit. Then they start talking about the ads, which I don't find as vital here. What's more catching is the amount. All right, here we go. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum. Among other things, the agent video explains, no other competitor can come close to our investment to drive leads to all agents. So this is where they start bringing the agents into the mix, right? CoStar's pitch to agents is a major part of its new marketing campaign. This is what I wanted to get into. This is why it's on our agent news channel. While speaking with Inman Thursday, Florence touted the company's "Your Listing, Your Lead" strategy and said that Homes.com will put every agent's name and company on their listings. Let's read that again, because we know a company that starts with Zillow does not do that for you. Will put every agent's name and company in their listings. He contrasted that with other portals, which strip off broker information when they ingest listings from the MLS. Florence criticized Zillow's offer to add additional information and branding for a fee. That's a shakedown, a listing shakedown, he says. So he knows how to speak to us. Talk dirty to us is what a lot of agents would be saying right now. He knows the value of courting the agents, of course, and really knows that that's a big reason that agents really don't trust Zillow, don't like Zillow, don't whatever Zillow. And I understand that Zillow's a broker, so we have to be mindful of what's said or not said about the brokerage of Zillow. But at the end of the day, that's a common critique, right? So whenever you have your listing up there, it's not uncommon to have another agent that has paid the premier price to be on that, much more accessible than the actual listing. Now, they do have to show who has the listing by regulations, by real estate commission rules, but not real estate commission. The real estate, the state commission. There you go. By contrast, Homes.com will include broker branding for free. Okay, Florence said that Homes.com 80 billion impressions. Wow, 80 billion impressions this year should then translate to 100 billion impressions of broker logos. It's really a marketing campaign for every single agent, every single broker in the United States. Florence went on to say of CoStar's current efforts, and no one else can make that statement. Your listings, your lead means that when Compass has a listing, when Jane Smith has a listing, people will see that Compass logo on their site, and they'll see Jane Smith's name on our site. Again, talk dirty to me. This is something that was a big critique and is a big critique for Zillow. So the fact that they're actually leaning into, at least, I'm not going to say that they're fully on board with this, because at the end of the day, they are getting this information directly into the hands of the consumer, to where ultimately it's not always going to be in the best interest of the agent. So I'm not gonna get them a complete get out of jail pass. However, it's a little bit better than what we're getting from the Zillow treatment. So during this call, Florence also touted Homes.com's feature, saying CoStar has built profiles of yada yada yada. That's not going to be important for us. Here we go. Oh, we got a little bit too many T's here. The new campaign to draw attention to Homes.com is part of an aggressive multi-year push into the world of residential real estate. Again, CoStar's more on the commercial side. And they're over here playing in the residential world. That's why many agents that are watching this channel that are on the residential side, we haven't really paid too much attention to CoStar because we hadn't needed to. Long a dominant player in the commercial space, CoStar began making a play for residential consumers as it acquired brands such as HomeSnap and Homes.com in 2020 and 2021. So think about this. We're looking at less than 4 years. They gobbled up two major players, HomeSnap and Homes.com. I don't have as much experience with HomeSnap. Homes.com I have, but notice how they got into this space very, very quickly. So they got into this space by purchasing these entities back in, as you can see, in less than 4 years ago. And for them to be investing $1 billion now in their fourth year, that says a lot. So once they purchased the asset or purchased these companies and stabilized it and divested themselves of things that they didn't necessarily want with the brands, and built up the platform, which alluded to earlier, where he was saying that he's comfortable where they're at, or since he's very pro. What did he say? Oh, we're not going to find it. That he's confident about the product right now. Anyway, that's not going to really be a good payoff, even if we find it. But anyway, it starts talking about the... Oh, and then see what happens. We got... Let's see if we can refresh this real quick. Let's get back to it. Florence has also been open on his critiques of rival portals, suggesting, for example, that Zillow, the top. Hey Alexa, stop. Sorry, Alexa got a little um, started speaking for some reason. Florence has also been open on his critiques of rival portals, suggesting, for example, that Zillow, the top consumer portal in the U.S., hijacks listings and blackmails agents. Tough words, but accurate. During Inman Connect New York last month, Florence reiterated his criticism of rival portals, this time throwing Redfin and Realtor.com into the mix as well. So again, the portal wars is getting the information into the hands of the end user, the buyer sellers, the clients. Same way that the streaming wars are doing everything that they can with Peacock, with Netflix, with Disney Plus, with everything else. Same thing is happening here. How can we take all the information that we as agents are giving? Let's not forget that part. We agents are inputting all this information into the MLS, and then it's just getting rebroadcast through a better UX. And providing a better experience, user interface, by the way, that's what UX means. So yeah, that's interesting. Now, recent data shows that Zillow remains far and away the largest portal in the US. That is true. However, CoStar's massive size as well as its apparent ambition, this is very ambitious, make it a formidable competitor even before this latest marketing push. In December, analyst Mike Delpreet noticed that CoStar had managed to grow Homes.com significantly and quickly via a steadily increasing advertising budget. In 2022, that meant CoStar outspent Zillow by a factor of 2. That is tough to do. In 2023, CoStar was on track to beat the rival portal spending by 3.5 times. That's crazy. Delpreet also noted that CoStar is more profitable than any other major portal maker and has more cash. Well, the reason for that is because their commercial space is so much more expensive. Their commercial portal is so much more expensive, like by a magnitude more. Yeah, so yeah, I could see how their monthly recurring revenue, their MRR, is vastly higher than the Zillow part. Competition between portals is a marathon, they'll argue in 2023. As 2023 came to a close and cash in the bank is not only a requirement to play in the game, but a critical prerequisite for success. Let me know what you think. What do you, is this the first time that you're hearing about CoStar? Do you think CoStar is going to win out, beat out Zillow in the long run? Do you think CoStar will be around here in 5 years, or will they divest themselves and as they tire themselves going up against Zillow? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you're thinking, and also let me know what you think about the ad that's going to run, or the 4 ads that are going to run in the Super Bowl to the tune of millions of dollars. So I'm curious to see what you're thinking, and I will see you on the next one.